What does it really take to stand at the top of the world after 15 years? Not just talent, not just hard work, but sacrifice, doubt, and the terrifying question, what comes next when there's nothing left to prove? For Piper Gilles and Paul Poirier, that moment has finally arrived. And the answer? It feels unreal. 15 years. Think about that. 15 years of early mornings, injuries, near misses, and moments where quitting might have felt easier than continuing. Gilles and Poirier weren't always the favorites. They weren't always the headline. But quietly, steadily, they built something rare in modern sports, longevity at the highest level. Season after season, they refined their craft. Not just skating, but storytelling on ice. Every routine became more than choreography. It became emotion you could feel from the stands. And now, at 34 years old, they've reached a point most athletes never do. Not just success, but fulfillment. When we accomplish our goals, when we finally live those dreams, they said, we just feel so honored and so blessed. But here's the question no one can answer yet. Was this their final chapter? Even they don't know. We haven't looked that far. And maybe that's what makes this moment so powerful. Because sometimes the end doesn't come with a clear decision. Sometimes it just quietly approaches. But while one story lingers in uncertainty, another explodes into life. Stephen Gogolev, just 21 years old, first World Championships, and suddenly the spotlight is blinding. He steps onto the ice and the arena is still shaking from Yuma Kageyama's performance. The noise is overwhelming, the pressure crushing. You could hear how loud the crowd was. I even had to cover my ears. Imagine that moment.
You're young, you're expected to deliver, and for a second, your mind goes blank. He hesitates, frozen. But then something shifts, because this isn't just another skate. This is a test of who he really is, and what follows changes everything. A near-perfect free skate to Piano Concerto No. 2, a personal best 186.66, a total score of 281.04, fourth place. But here's the twist. That score would have won a medal just 1 year ago. So what does that tell you? Is the competition getting tougher, or is a new generation rising faster than anyone expected? Because Gogolev's story isn't just about placement, it's about redemption. Once labeled a prodigy, his career nearly derailed by injuries. Doubt crept in, expectations faded, and now he's back, not as a promise, but as a threat. And then there's the man at the very top, Ilia Malinin. They call him the Quad God, and right now, it doesn't feel like an exaggeration. 3 consecutive world titles, 329.40 points. Dominance. But dominance comes with its own pressure. After a devastating Olympic free skate, many wondered if he could recover. He didn't just recover, he took over. Right behind him, Kageyama climbs from 6 to silver, proof that resilience isn't optional at this level, it's required. And Shun Sato claims bronze, quietly reminding the world that Japan's depth in figure skating is no accident. For Canada, the results tell a mixed story. 2 medals, a strong bronze from Leah Pereira and Trent Machad. But beyond the podium, something bigger is happening, a transition. Legends standing at the edge of goodbye, and newcomers knocking on the door. So let me ask you something. What's harder, reaching the top or knowing when it's time to leave it behind? Because for Gilles and Poirier, that answer is still unwritten. And for Gogolev, the journey is just beginning. This isn't just a competition, it's a turning point, an ending and a beginning happening at the exact same time. And maybe that's what makes figure skating so powerful. Not the jumps, not the scores, but the stories. If this moment taught us anything, it's that greatness doesn't last forever, but the impact, that's what lives on. So what do you think? Is this the final chapter for Gilles and Poirier, or do they have one more run left? And is Steven Gogolev the next name ready to take over the sport? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more powerful stories like this, stories that go beyond the headlines, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us here at Celeb World Insight, because the next chapter in sports might be even bigger than this one.